How you guys doing? Just wanted to make a quick statement. First of all, I want to thank the Johnson family for the opportunity to be the head coach of the Jets. Even though it was an interim basis, it was a great honor, one of the great honors of my football career. I want to thank this fan base. You know, it's one of the great fan bases in this game. Passionate, all in, and wish I could have done more for them. I want to thank the coaching staff in this building, the support staff. Unbelievable, you know, in a very trying year. Stayed the course and unwavering support at all times. And then finally want to thank these players, you know, because amazing locker room. In the face of real football adversity, they stayed together. They stayed the course. They finished in a way that they should all be proud of, and for that I'm forever grateful. And I'd also like to thank the people in this room that I felt like, you know, that you guys were fair and truth tellers this year, and I appreciate that. With that, any questions?
What was your main message to the players?
Yeah, and the biggest one was, and we kind of spoke on it as the year's gone along, adversity is an opportunity. You know, it's an opportunity to really figure out a lot about yourself, and it also it reveals people around you. You know exactly who you're working with, and there's power in that. So, you know, it's also a gift in the fact that it builds strength and resiliency within you that only adversity can. You know, and ultimately, this season, we won't win in spite of it. We're going to win because of it.
What's next for you? And have you had an interview scheduled so far?
I have not had an interview scheduled, so I'm going to take it one day at a time. I don't know exactly what the future holds, but I'm excited about the opportunity of whatever comes.
Have you been told by anybody that you will have a...
I was.
Schedule.
Yeah, not the exact day, not yet.
What about other teams? Will your agent or whoever figure out, you know, other possibilities?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some things out there, but I definitely want to see where this opportunity lies first.
What do you think about the foundation that this team has going forward?
I think the talent on this team is incredible, you know, especially the young talent. When you look at that, it's that combination of Jermaine and Brees and Sauce and Garrett and it just the list goes on and on, you know. So from a talent perspective, I think it's right in a lot of ways. Now, winning, and I know that's such a simplified, you know, Captain Obvious answer, but with winning comes momentum, comes confidence. It changes the mindset in those moments at the end of games to, rather than hoping things go right, that knowing that things are going to go right. And that's a different mentality. It's a different approach. And that's only, you earn that. You earn that through having success and doing things the right way. So that's where the culture shift really has to happen, you know, on top of a high level of accountability with this group, but some success.
Looking back on the season, about your dual role, do you have any regrets or second guesses about having to do both jobs, you know, DC and head coach? Because we asked you about that early in the season.
Yeah.
When you first did that. Having the benefit of hindsight, if you think it was still the best.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, as I spoke on before, the continuity was my paramount issue, and I wanted to make sure that from a coaching staff perspective, we stayed as much the course as we had going into the season. I don't know necessarily, and who knows, maybe my thoughts on this will change in the next couple of days as I reflect on all this, but I don't know if I'd do it any different this season. What I do know is if I did ever get an opportunity to be a head coach, I would not be a head coach coordinator. I would not coordinate the defense. I would much rather have the ability to go from offense to defense to special teams. You know, there's moments, especially on game day, where I'm busy being a defensive coordinator, where my resources might be better equipped being the head coach and just certain times, you know, within games, and there's times definitely where being a head coach can get in the way of prepping for defense for me, and vice versa. So it's if I could build it perfect in a vision going forward, I would not be the coordinator and the head coach.
You talked about learning a lot yesterday after the game. Just what have you learned in this role?
Yeah, there's a lot of things, and as I really reflect on this, I'll really be able to put them on paper and define them. I've become very convicted in some of the things that I really believed in that got reinforced, why they're important and continue they need to be important. But at the same time, there's things that I need to improve on, and there's things I've got to take a critical look at myself and find the spaces where I can improve those. Far from perfect, and I'm excited about that opportunity to really, with a fine-tooth comb, evaluate every decision and everything I did in the last, whatever it's been, 10, 11 weeks.
You talked about being grateful for this opportunity. I'm just curious, how do you process that the opportunity came in obviously a tough situation, having to take over after something shocking 5 weeks into the season? Just how do you process that that's how the opportunity came, and what do you make of that?
Yeah, the gratitude for me comes from just the opportunity to get to know the entire team on a deeper level. As a defense coordinator, you get a lot of exposure with the defense, and you get small exposure with the offense and special teams, but you don't really get an opportunity to address them on a consistent basis. So my gratitude is just, it gave me this amazing opportunity to get to know everybody on offense, special teams, and just build a deeper connection with the overall team. And I'll forever be grateful for that.
Sauce was saying that he wants to be here long term. He wants to be like a part of the change. And wants to be a part of getting this franchise back on track. Like, how meaningful is it, you think, for a guy in that locker room to hear somebody like Sauce saying that, especially when he's on the verge of like a contract?
Yeah, no, that's huge. Your best players got to be your best people, and they got to be all in. And that's how you create a championship team, and for him to say that is powerful. Now you got to get more and more people buying into that same mentality of being all in, because without it, you don't have a chance, as we all know.
How would you assess this season?
For Sauce?
Yeah.
I'm going to take a hard look at it. I thought there was moments where his greatness was on full display. There was some growth with him too that I thought that was amazing in a lot of ways. And there's also times where he'd admit to where he left some stuff out there, that he's capable of making some plays that maybe he didn't make. But that goes on every human being in this building. We all fell short in some capacity, but it wasn't all bad. It's never as good. It's never as bad, from that standpoint. So, but he did. He had growth, and he's a better player today than he was a year ago.
Jeff, was it a little bit weird and maybe uncomfortable to have Woody in the regime, having Vrabel in here the other day while you were preparing for your last game? It just seemed odd to have him in the building while this was all taking place, while you're trying to prepare for the last game. What was that like for you?
Yeah, in all honesty, we were just so hyper-focused on the preparation of the game that it wasn't an issue. It really wasn't.
Going back to the summer, somebody we asked you about a lot was Will McDonald. And he was playing in preseason games. It seemed like he was entering the season. Something improved might be strong, but it looked like you had to look for something from him. What did he show you this season?
Growth in every way. And I know I've spoken this in the past, but his off-field stuff went to a whole other place. His nutrition, his lifting habits, his all the preparation, all the stuff you don't see went to another place. Just became a pro in front of our eyes. And as a coach, you just yearn for those moments that is reflected in the way he plays, and you hope that there's that positive reinforcement that the process is right, so the play is right. And it happened, like all that hard work paid off, and you saw all that, you saw a stronger, faster, more explosive player out there. Just to watch this last game, it's just astounding that his legs look like it's week one. His burst and just the bounce and the lightness in his steps is just, it's so unique. This kid he is not young man. He is just scratching the surface of what he can become. So I'm a huge Will McDonald fan for the player he is, and even more so for the human being that he is.
With Garrett Wilson, as you know, on a number of occasions he's expressed some frustration. Do you take that do you read that as a player who might not be invested in the long term here, that might be looking elsewhere?
Because I've got an opportunity to get to know Garrett on a deeper level, he is an ultra competitive human being, and that is the only place where his frustration comes. That he wants to do things at the highest level, and he wants people around him to do it at the highest level, and he wants the results to reflect that, you know, and we fell short in that way. You know, so you felt some frustration, and he wasn't the only one. You might have been the only one, maybe articulating and saying it out loud. But there was frustration across the board, players and coaches alike. Whenever you lose, and lose like we did, it's going to be that way. But I think Garrett's frustration comes from the best of places as a elite competitor.
Everybody good? Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.